Hi again. I found this Wii Sports tennis racket in my closet, and I'm pretty sure I bit into it a bunch when I was a kid. So there's that. And in today's video, we actually get to talk about someone whose content I quite enjoy. It's not Logan Paul, it's not Rice Gum, it's not that scumbag Jax Films. By the way, the amount of people that didn't understand that the PewDiePie Jax Films video was sarcastic and told me that PewDiePie's video on Jax Films was sarcastic and that they were friends is hilariously ironic. No hate to them because I've done similar stuff like that in the past. It's just really funny to me. Just kidding, that video was 100% real and Jax Films is a piece of shit. But today's video is about Casey Neistat, aka Mr. Who I'm voting for, Clinton conspiracy theory man, affectionately referred to as Caveman by some, and perhaps very famously known as CNN man. Well, former CNN man now. Today's topic is Casey Neistat moving away from CNN and his startup that CNN bought, Beme. Casey uploaded a video on Thursday called Moving On from Beme, and it hit trending because of course it did, it's Casey Neistat. Yada mehoimi no maha. But let's take a look at the video that Casey uploaded.
I've re-recorded this video like 10 times. Finding the words here is challenging, but I'm just gonna make this short and sweet and to the point.
Just from the first 10 seconds of this video, it might seem easy to make the point that Casey's doing the longing look kind of thing, saying how we had to record the video multiple times because the subject matter is just very hard for him to talk about, and it would be easy to say that he's doing it for the sake of manipulation. It's important to acknowledge that manipulation isn't inherently evil, and in my opinion at least, it doesn't seem like Casey Neistat is doing it here for manipulation at all. Casey doesn't really waste any time over dramatizing this situation. He does set up the emotional importance that this has to him. The human race is doomed, and he does it without the size and the over-calculated delivery you see in some videos from other YouTubers talking about important subject matter to them.
Which is that Matt Hackett, my business partner and co-founder in Beme, a company that the two of us founded a little over 3 years ago, he and I are moving on from Beme.
I have to further commend Casey here. He gives the information straight up, pretty close to the beginning of the video. No dodging around the issue for a couple minutes, or 40 of them, depending on who you are. He just says it up front in the beginning, and then he goes on to explain the implications of this situation. Speaking of which, actually before I get to that part, I gotta get this out of the way for comedic relief. Dead podcast.
Hello everyone, I'm Alex. Welcome back to Comedic Relief. I just wanted to say we are starting this podcast back up for next year. So keep an eye out. It's going to be great. See you soon.
Liar. But I gotta do it. It's a Casey Neistat video. It's pretty much obligated if you're in the commentary community. Me, Casey Neistat. I discover fat. It's not funny when I make the joke. It's only funny when other people do it, and I just feel like an asshole when I make it. I'm skipping this quota. I don't need it. But anyways, back to Casey talking about the implications of him leaving Beme.
Beme, the company, which was acquired by CNN about 13 months ago now, Beme is going to be absorbed into CNN. The media side of Beme is going to be brought into CNN Digital Studios, where they're going to continue their work there. The tech side is going to be brought into CNN as well, and they're going to continue development on the two products that they've been working so hard on for the last year.
Oof, 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 oof. CNN absorbing Beme does worry me just a little bit. I accidentally hit the light when I dropped this. Sorry about that. When Beme was acquired, it sounded like CNN gave them a lot of freedom to do what they wanted, to experiment with the technology that they were hired for making and to further develop, and just a lot of freedom in what they do in general. But Casey said in an interview that he did with BuzzFeed, I don't think I'm giving CNN what I want to give them, and I don't think they're getting value from me. Now, while I personally disagree with this, just having Casey on your team would probably up CNN's reputation with certain groups of people, or maybe just bring Casey's reputation down with those same groups of people. Not sure, but Casey openly admitting that might have some negative effect on the people from Beme who do end up sticking with CNN. Because of what appears to be an admission from Casey that he doesn't have confidence himself, at least in regards to this project, that might make CNN in turn lose confidence in some of the choices and decisions he's made to hire certain people. Then again, Casey is only one person at Beme, even though he is a rather important one. Beme isn't solely comprised of him. I guess other big parts of it were the other 20 plus people that work there, but I do hope that Casey candidly admitting that doesn't really shake CNN's faith in him, what he's built, and the people that he's hired, because Casey has built some pretty neat shit over the years, like the drone that could actually fly a human.
What the hell? Holy shit! Lift off! Be merry and brown, and may all your...
That was pretty neat. He also created the framework for a Casey Neistat Ivanka Trump conspiracy theory, just in case someone wanted to make one.
Here's some good fodder for a conspiracy theory. First of all, I know Donald Trump's daughter Ivanka personally. She's a lovely human being. I have a bad thing to say about her. She's great. That's a lot for a good conspiracy. Start there. They could have put together like a really good conspiracy.
Matt and I personally are going to move on to what I don't know, and I'm not ready to announce that yet. But
Casey, please tell me it's a reaction commentary channel. Nothing would make me laugh more than a Casey Neistat clone of Leafy. Casey is here. Casey Cynical. Pyro Neistat. What was I thinking when I wrote these in my script? These sound like really, really awful ship names. And they're couples I most definitely do not ship. Bad, bad.
I don't. It's easy to get sad and nostalgic about this because Beme has been my life for the last 3+ years, and this is the end of the road for me. I am happy that Beme's going to live on. I'm happy that it's going to live on with CNN. Working with CNN has been incredible. Looking back at my time there, I think that we did a lot of interesting things. I think that, maybe I struggled more in that environment than I had anticipated, but ultimately, I'm very proud of the work that we did there, and I'm very happy that work is going to continue on.
This is what I was hitting on in yesterday's video when I said that music seemed unnecessary. When trying to set up the mood and tone of that video, Casey speaking and telling his story here is enough to evoke the emotions it's supposed to from me, and it's a much less intense story than the one of a suicide attempt survivor. Yet it still manages to grip me and rip the feelings out of me that it wants to, and really conveys how Casey is feeling, which in turn helps inform the feelings that I have in response. While in Logan's video, the music might have been necessary, and making sure that the mood goes exactly where Logan or whoever was making the video goes where they want it to, the point still stands, but it was a professionally made video and I do understand why they used the music in it.
For what it's worth, I'm staying on as executive producer of the Beme YouTube channel, which is awesome. It's kind of in name only, but I'm happy to sort of have that be my legacy.
Between the fact that he was an executive producer for Beme's YouTube channel, uploaded consistently to his channel at several points doing daily vlogs, taking care of his family, traveling, doing God knows how many boring business-related other things, it's kind of a surprise to me that Beme didn't go under faster, or at least that Casey Neistat didn't leave the company sooner than he did. But between those things that I just listed, and something else that he said in his BuzzFeed interview, I couldn't find answers. I would sort of disappear. And I would hide and I would make YouTube videos for my channel, because at least I would be able to yield something. Casey's attention was spread between so many different things. The fact that he wasn't able to dedicate his full creative prowess and power towards Beme isn't really surprising, and Beme suffered for it. This isn't to take shots at Casey Neistat, it's just to show that some ideas do need somebody's full dedication. I don't know this from personal experience, but Philip DeFranco said in his video on this.
But what I really think this situation shows us is you can't just throw money at something and expect it to work. You have to have the right people, and when it comes to news, you need someone that is passionate about it, that is their number one thing all the time. Even if you hire fantastic, dedicated people, if the head is sick, you're gonna lose the body too. And that's where I'm gonna end it. I hope that you understand what I'm talking about. The last thing I want this to sound like is I'm shit talking, because I really do believe that if Casey throws himself into something that he is genuinely passionate about, there's no way it doesn't succeed.
Altogether, this whole thing isn't a huge shock to me. Before CNN acquired Beme, during Beme's initial launch, and after it dipped in usage pretty quickly, it surprised me that CNN still wanted to acquire it after all of that, but it made sense to want to try and get the minds behind Beme so that they could develop further technology for CNN, and also to get the technology that they had already created to incorporate into CNN. And on Casey Neistat's end of the deal, it's $25 million for a failed startup. Who's gonna turn that down? It gave not only Casey Neistat, but all the people involved with Beme probably a lot of opportunities. People who are calling Casey Neistat a failure in this whole thing, I don't think he's a failure. Looking at this from a purely logical stance, this thing might have actually benefited him. Like Philly D said, he got the full money from the contract without having to actually complete the contract. But still, it's probably not an easy thing emotionally for Casey. And that's probably where the real toll hits him. And for me at least, all that's really left is to speculate what Casey Neistat's gonna do next. Or better yet, make suggestions on what to do next. Casey, my pitch is a face mask hoodie that when you put the face mask over your mouth, it doesn't make you sound like you're under 20 layers of concrete. In case you couldn't understand me, I said I want a face mask on a hoodie that doesn't make you sound like you're under 20 layers of concrete. Because that's what this sounds like. Aside from that, there's not really much to say. I hope Casey Neistat does find success in whatever he does next. Whether if that's focusing on YouTube more or another startup, I hope the people that were involved with Beme that won't be joining CNN find great opportunities elsewhere, and the people from Beme that are being assimilated into CNN do great from that point on. Just general well-wishing and dick-sucking, you know how I do it. But anyways, if you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to drop a like, and if you're new, subscribe. This has been Kwite, and I will see you guys next time.
10 minutes, 10 minutes, 10 minutes, 10 minutes, 10 minutes, 10 minutes, bye.